What if your child could build a story? Build a story that they read? What if books sparked not just imagination, but action? In today's video, I'm going to share 3 simple, low prep makerspace projects that you can pair with almost any book, and it's going to boost engagement, comprehension, and joy, especially for kids who are reluctant to reading. Hope you stick around. Hi, I'm Trina Demery, and this is Readers in the Making, or better known as One Tired Teacher turned to Readers in the Making. In today's video, you're going to learn how to pair a book with any creative STEM challenge, easy ways that you can do this with basic materials. It doesn't have to require lots of supplies. It can even be things that you have in your trash. I know that's crazy. And why hands-on learning really builds reading confidence. So let's jump into it. Project number 1. Let's talk about the first project that we can do to really get kids excited. And that is to recreate the story setting. So here's the problem. Often kids can't visualize what they're reading. So stories feel abstract and unforgettable, or they're not noticing some subtle setting changes and how that impacts the story. So here's what we can do to fix that problem. We can bring the world of the book, the world inside of the book, into the real world. So after reading the challenge, we can have kids build the setting using blocks or cardboard or Play-Doh or Legos or even recyclable materials. We're going to ask questions like, what does this place look like? Would you want to visit this place? What kinds of things happened inside of this setting? So we're going to get kids really thinking about it. Now, we can do this with any book, and I just grabbed a few just to show you, but like even with Rosie Revere, like we can take a look inside the book and notice some of the things that are going on inside of the setting. I mean, look at this setting. That's a crazy, crazy, chaotic setting. But if we bring this to life and allow kids to really dig in, then they're really going to understand what's going on in this story. Another thing that we can do is actually have them do like different settings. So we start with like, what's the setting that happened in the beginning of the book? And then what was the next thing that happened? And kind of have them look at comparing and contrasting a variety of settings. Books like The Tale of Peter Rabbit, Where the Wild Things Are, even The Three Little Pigs. These are books that work great for this. Plus you can use simple materials like Play-Doh, pipe cleaners, cardboard, and again, even recyclables. Why does this work? It works because it deepens comprehension through visualization. It turns passive reading into a reading experience. It gives kids something to do with the story. It's perfect for those active, busy, moving kinds of learners. And those are the kids we really want to grab their attention. Okay, so if you've heard anything that you like, then definitely give me a thumbs up so I know I'm on the right track. All right, let's look at project number 2, solving a character's problem. This is one of my favorites. So first of all, let's start off with the struggle. Many kids don't connect emotionally with the characters. They just kind of move through the plot and listen to the story or read the story, and they don't actually feel what the characters are feeling. And this is a really important thing that we want to shift because we want them to empathize. We want them to feel what the characters are feeling so that they can empathize. It's a skill that we definitely want kids to learn and to take into their future. So let's help them help characters. So first of all, we want to notice what the problem is. What is the problem in the story? What are the characters facing? And how could we possibly solve that? Now, the trick is we don't want to tell kids what the answer is. We want kids to take a story, let's say, Let's Go for a Drive by Mo Willems. We want to take this story and we want to think about how can we solve the problem? So the problem is that Piggy and Gerald want to go somewhere. They want to get from one place to another. Now, in the book, we see that they are in a car. So we could rebuild a car. But what if we went a step further and we actually allowed kids to think about their own solutions? Because their solution might not be a car. It could be wings. It could be a plane. It could be a boat. It could be a scooter. It could be a bike. So we allow kids to kind of come up with their own solutions, which actually helps them think critically. And that can be done with any book, with simple materials that we have on hand already inside of our homes or inside of our classrooms. Now let's talk about why this works. It fosters empathy for the kid or for the characters. So kids start to think like the characters. It encourages critical thinking because we're allowing them to have an open-ended challenge rather than just telling them we're all going to create a car. We allow them to come up with solutions on their own. And it might not even be a solution that the book or the author thought of, which sometimes can be really exciting for kids to be like, whoa, if I was the author, I might have come up with this solution. So it puts them in the shoes of the writer as well, which can be really, really powerful. We also build a creative bridge between fiction and real world thinking. All right, did you hear something you liked this time? Definitely give me a thumbs up and let me know on the video. Another thing that you can do is share this with a friend, whether you're listening to the video or listening to the podcast. Either way, you can share this with a friend. Let's move on to project number 3, which is changing the ending through design. All right, let's talk about the struggle first of all. So the struggle are kids often disengage with the book over time. And when they're finished and they move on to the next story. So how can we solve this problem? How can we fix this? One thing we can do is we can think of a makerspace shift. I love makerspace. Gotta have some makerspace in every classroom and every learning situation because it gives kids the opportunity to be creative and it gives them the opportunity to think critically. So in this case, we're going to extend the story with a design or a redesign twist. All right, so how could we do this? We could rewrite or redesign the ending of a story. So let's take the paper bag princess, for example. Maybe we take this and we build a fireproof shield or new outfit. Or even in Diary of a Worm, we create a device to help Worm communicate without his arms. So we can solve a solution, but we can also recreate a different ending. And that gives kids a chance to think beyond the story. So how does this work? Why does this work? It helps kids re-engage with the story after they're finished reading. It encourages flexibility and ownership of their ideas, and it strengthens comprehension through imaginative revision, which can be also really powerful. All right, let's talk about some final actions, some final things that we can try tonight. Reading doesn't have to end when the book ends. With a few simple makerspace prompts, you can help your child explore stories, solve problems, and most importantly, connect with books in a joyful way. All right, I have a little freebie for you, and this is a book list by standard, by looking at literature standards such as asking and answering questions or retelling or developing characters, any of those kind of things. It kind of gives you a list of books by standard, and then it gives you a list of books that are actually perfect for makerspace extensions. So if you want this, you can grab it. It's in the description below. So grab it, and it is yours for free. You want to go a little bit further than this, you want a little bit more information on how to get your child to love reading, then you will join me inside of my workshop, which is For the Love of Reading. And this is a great way, I don't have this one on the screen, there we go. It is a great way to get kids to love reading. It's simple little strategies that you can do at home that don't take up a lot of time, but really help your child love reading. All right, did you hear anything you liked? I definitely love your feedback in the comments. Make sure to like this video, make sure to share this video with others, and definitely make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. All right, until next time.